shout out to the Professor and Asper's Gaming for supporting me on level 3 or higher on Patreon. Hey everyone, I'm Albert Boris. I absolutely love the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. This DLC, released for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Nintendo Switch earlier last year, has now been going on for a little over a year. And it's been some of the most fun I've ever had with any Nintendo Switch game. And for me personally, one of the absolutely best aspects of this DLC has been the city courses. They hail as retro tracks from Mario Kart Tour, and what makes them stand out compared to the other courses in the Booster Course Pass is the fact that each lap takes you through a different part of the track, with arrow fields constantly changing the direction you're heading to, making them some of the more complex tracks out there. And it seems like Nintendo likes them as well, as data mines point towards 14 city courses in total making an appearance in this DLC. 9 of them are in the game so far, and an additional 2 have also been released in Mario Kart Tour. For the longest time possible, the most recent city course added to Mario Kart Tour was Bangkok Rush, which released over 9 months ago. Ever since, it's been a painful wait to see what was going to be the next city track. And then, Nintendo teased Athens Adventure on Twitter. Wait, no, that's not the name? Wait, let me check. Athens Dash? No. There were so many good choices and you went with the absolute worst one that says nothing about the course? Why? To be honest, it's probably my least favorite name out of any city course so far. You wanna know what this track isn't the worst at though? Literally everything else it seems like, luckily. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that this track really exceeded my expectations, despite fully expecting this course to arrive. Like many other courses in Mario Kart Tour, this one was leaked within the game's files before it was announced, as data miners had found a certain course that was simply referred to as Mob AT. And judging by the way previous city courses had been abbreviated within the game's files in the past, it seemed pretty obvious that this would be Athens. Especially since data miners were also able to find a door asset, but more importantly a pillar asset associated with the track. Which, you know, sounds like an obvious giveaway for a city that has the Parthenon. Both of these assets can also be seen in the trailer of the course. And yet, despite knowing all of this, I totally didn't expect it to look this kingly. Well, okay, visually it looks slightly rushed in some areas. I mean, there's nothing in the background here. But the track layout, oh my goodness. It looks so ambitious. So I thought, let's analyze this trailer, down to the core, see what the layout might be, and discuss where it might end up in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. So with all that being said, let's get started. First off, it's pretty safe to say that out of all the city tracks in Mario Kart Tour so far, this one feels the least like one. The main thing that distinguishes Athens Dash from the other city courses is the fact that nowhere in the trailer or screenshots available does it look like you're driving through a metropolitan area. At best, you can see some houses in the distance, but otherwise this track is looking to take place pretty much exclusively on the Acropolis, even the starting line. From there on, figuring out the layout is surprisingly difficult, especially because we'll be getting 2 separate variants of the track in this tour alone. So it's gonna be tricky trying to spread all of these sections out for 2 different layouts. There are 5 different shots in the trailer that we can go by. First off, there's obviously the starting line, taking place on some ruins with a dirt road going left short after. The most notable other scenes included in the trailer is this shot of the Parthenon with roads leading in from 3 different directions, the first ever half-pipes featured in a city track, this overview of an open area, and another overview featuring the Theater of Dionysus with a U-turn leading to a cannon, seen in this screenshot, which would probably lead up to this door. Besides that, there are also an additional 2 screenshots, featuring a staircase going up a grassy hill and another screenshot that takes place on the hill with rolling boulders. Yeah, this is a lot of scenes to take in and try to fit into 2 separate variants on the same track. I tried to try my best though, and these are the routes I'm predicting for these layouts. For Athens-1, you'll be starting off at, you guessed it, the starting line, before turning left and going straight on down. This will lead to an open plain, before you make another left turn and go up some stairs. After tricking off the stairs, you'll be landing on the Theater of Dionysus, until you make a U-turn, take the cannon up to a cave, before getting back to the finish line. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure we'll be driving through a cave, since we don't have any proof of it, but since there is a door here, Yeah, I'm gonna predict it. Surprisingly enough, that wasn't too hard. Athens-2 though, I'm not entirely sure how this will end up. The sections I left out from the first variant are what looks like a place to land after a long gliding section, this trek up a mountain, and a straight road with half pipes at the end. But I just don't know where to put it, as it's a bit hard to find a natural route which could coexist with my idea for the first variant. I'm gonna make a quick sketch up of it, but I'm not very certain it will be true. All of you probably have a better idea than me. Luckily, not being 100% certain makes me more hyped for what routes Nintendo have picked for the course, since I really want to know how it will end up. One thing is for sure, both variants look very interesting to drive on with lots of gameplay features, elevation and tight turns. That being said, however, there are a few worries I have regarding this track. As much as I love how distinct it is from the other city courses, I hope they didn't go completely overboard. From the looks of it in the trailers, there's not a single area that takes place in the metropolitan area of Athens, which is, you know, the bulk of what makes up a city. In fact, this track reminds me more of Piranha Plant Cove than the other city tracks. Now don't get me wrong, this definitely won't make for a bad course, but it will make for a slightly questionable city track. Like, Acropolis is amazing and all, but there is more to Athens than just that. I would love if Athens-3 perhaps took place in the actual city of Athens. Or even if maybe one of these two layouts incorporated to my surprise. It would definitely help it feel more like a city track like the others, while still having some of the most interesting course design in all of Mario Kart Tour. And even if we don't get any traditional city sections, that won't stop it from perhaps being one of the most ambitious and atmospheric courses ever, with the ancient setting and very refreshing, jolly, yet climactic music. Now the question remains, where will this track end up in the Booster Course Pass? The popular answer is somewhere in the Feather Cup. You know what? That does make a lot of sense. Feathers are commonly associated with Greece, and hence it simply makes a lot of sense to put a track based on Athens in a cup themed after feathers. Back when this course was first data mined but not teased yet, I put Athens Avenue as the opening course of the Feather Cup for that reason. Starting with my Wave 5 to 6 prediction video, however, I decided to put Athens Adventure this time at the end instead, since I assumed it would probably be quite ambitious and difficult with lots of elevation, just like it looks to be now. Between the two spots, Athens Dash definitely makes more sense to be at the end. Plus, they do like to end the cups with fan favorites, and I can tell this will be one. So that means I'm putting it here, right? No, not at all. It can't be predictable. No, but seriously, I'm actually kind of skeptical about putting it in the Feather Cup at all. Now yes, you might say they did miss out on the feather symbolism. Well, guess what, it wouldn't be the first time, since they also decided to not put Sydney Sprint in the Boomerang Cup. The thing that makes me conflicted about this course's placement is the atmosphere, particularly the music. It's got a pretty upbeat start, followed by a relaxing, almost summer vacation-like vibe. That would make it perfect for the opening of the Feather Cup, as it could leave a good first impression while still being interesting. However, if you raise the pitch and tempo so that it resembles what its final lap theme might be in a Deluxe, it now suddenly sounds incredibly epic and finale-ish, which wouldn't fit the opening of Wave 5 nearly as well. See, the issue is that the two themes clash with each other, making either spot somewhat unfit in my opinion. Now yeah, the factors in favor of it being a finale do slightly outweigh it. The track design is very ambitious and the final lap music is really epic. Almost a bit too much actually to be the ending of just the Feather Cup, rather than the entirety of Wave 5. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure it will be in the Feather Cup. This is why I personally propose that Athens Dash should be the opening course of the Spinny Cup. Okay, this prediction does have a few fallacies at first, but let me clear up myself. One of the reasons people predict it for the Feather Cup, besides the symbolism, is also due to the prefix leak. This data mine from back when Wave 1 released showcased which console prefix all upcoming tracks were associated with. And with Wave 4 now being released, we can effectively confirm that this data mine was true. Wave 2 lined up perfectly, and Wave 3 and 4 were almost the same but with a few shuffles. So what does the prefix leak have in store for Wave 5? Well, as it turns out, 3 city courses. One of them was originally Bangkok Rush before it swapped places with Los Angeles Laps, which was originally gonna be in Wave 4. The other two though hadn't been released in Mario Kart Tour yet. And with how long it's taken to get the next city course now, Nintendo would probably only be able to release 2 more city courses before Wave 5 rolls around, which would theoretically force Athens in here, since Nintendo hasn't ever released a city course in a Deluxe before Tour. But who's to say they won't do more swaps? As reliable as the prefix leak has been for predicting what the remaining courses will be, that doesn't mean they won't swap placements on final release if they can. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Back to why Athens Dash should be the opening track of the Spinny Cup. In my opinion, it would simply feel the most natural, taking into consideration the difficulty and atmosphere of the track. The standard version of the music is pretty upbeat and relaxing, perfect for a first impression to a cup. But seeing as it's also the last cup in the game, it makes sense for it to be a little more ambitious than normally, and the final lap tune would leave a solid final impression on the last city course of the Booster Course Pass. All in all, this is the only spot where the relaxing normal tune and climactic final lap theme wouldn't clash with each other in my opinion. Don't take this as a gospel though. I know I correctly predicted that DS Mario Circuit would return to Wave 4, but I'm still just a gerbaltician, prone to making mistakes as well. But for now, this is where I'm gonna put it. Of course, all of this also depends on what the final 2 city courses announced are going to be. Depending on what they are, Athens might be better suited in another spot. With all that being said though, I hope you all enjoyed this short little discussion on the next city course coming to Mario Kart Tour. How do you think this track will end up, and where do you think we'll see it in the Booster Course Pass? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel as I talk about everything Mario related. Follow me on Discord, Twitter and Patreon. And with all that being said, I'm signing off. Until next time.